What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, if you're new to the channel, I put out weekly videos all about what it's like to live in Atlanta, so be sure to subscribe to know more about living in Atlanta, Georgia. Right now, I want to talk about some of the funny things that people say here in Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta, Georgia when I was a child, and it really would have helped to know some of these things and really understand some of these interesting things that people in Georgia say that has now become kind of second language for me. So let's talk about some of the unique sayings here in Georgia. Of course, if you're thinking about moving to Atlanta or you just want to know what it's like to live here, feel free to call or text, email me anytime. I'm more than happy to help. Right off the bat, one of the things that a lot of people say here in Georgia is y'all. I think everybody knows about that. Instead of saying you or yous guys, I think they say yous guys in the north maybe. Here we say y'all. It just means all of y'all. Another super common one is bless their heart. Bless their heart is kind of sounds like a really nice thing that you would say about someone, but it's actually more like a backhanded comment. It's like if Joe was not really had it all together and Joe really kind of needed some help, you'd say, "Oh, that guy Joe, bless his heart." It's like he's not really all together. He needs his heart to be blessed. He needs some help. So that's what people say, bless their heart. Another one is fixin' to do something. Fixin' is like, that means I'm about to do something. Oh, I'm about to go to the grocery store. Instead of saying I'm about to go to the grocery store, a lot of times people around here will say fix it. I'm fixing to go to the grocery store. One that is very specific to the city of Atlanta is the perimeter. If somebody refers to something as being in the perimeter or outside of the perimeter, you should know that the perimeter refers to Interstate 285 that goes around the city of Atlanta. Very often people will say, "Oh, I live in the perimeter." It means they live within 285 in the middle of like the city of Atlanta. Another one that people often say is ITP or OTP, in the perimeter or outside the perimeter. So that's kind of become super common around here is ITP, just refers to Interstate 285. Okay, we really need to talk about the word highway. I don't think in other parts of the country highway is used as interchangeably as it's used here in Georgia. In Florida, where I have a lot of family, highway is something very specific. It's kind of like a busy road. It's maybe an interstate or a busy road that has lots of cars on it. But here in Georgia, highways can be a side street in the middle of the woods, or highways can be Interstate 75. So if you're in Georgia and someone refers to something as the highway, you have to take the highway to get there. Just know that that can mean any number of things. You may be going on a road that has no cars on it, or you may be going on the interstate through the city of Atlanta. So if someone tells you you need to get on the highway, you might want to ask for some more specific directions. If you're in Georgia and somebody refers to a drink as soda, they mean Coca-Cola. That's the only kind of soda that is important here in Atlanta. Coca-Cola is the most popular kind of soda. So if they say soda, they're not talking about grape soda. They're sure as hell not talking about Pepsi. They're not talking about any other kind of soft drink besides Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is king in Atlanta. If you ask for a soda at a restaurant, you're getting Coca-Cola. That's all there is here. And then while we're at it, tea, like tea to drink, like there's only one kind of tea here in Georgia. It's sweet tea. If you're at a restaurant and you ask for tea, you're getting sweet tea. And it's not just going to be like a little bit sweet. It's going to be like diabetes sweet. It's going to have a lot of sugar because that's how we do in the South. Okay, here's a funny one. Jeet yet. That's two words, Jeet. Second word, Yet question mark. So like if you just meet up with a friend and you're wanting to figure out what are y'all doing today, you're gonna go shopping first, or you're gonna go to the restaurant first, something you might say is "Jeet yet?" It just means have you eaten yet? A funny thing that we say here, something to keep in mind. Jeet yet. Okay, knee high to a grasshopper. Knee high to a grasshopper is like something that you've been doing for a really long time. I've been doing that since I was knee high to a grasshopper. It just means that I was very short, very small. I was a child. I've been doing that since I was knee high to a grasshopper. How's your mama and them? How's your mama and them is like typical Southern hospitality. What it means is, you're taking an interest in that person. You're really wanting to know how's their family? How are they doing? How's everybody? We just say, how's your mama and them? It just means, how's everybody in the family? If you have company over and you had a good time and you want to invite those people back over, what you say is, y'all come back now, you hear? Typical Georgia saying for feel free to come on back anytime. Y'all come back now, you hear? Okay, we're getting really silly here now. Some of these next ones are really super interesting things that people say here in Georgia. One of them is the porch light's on, but nobody's home. That means that Joe kind of seems like he's got it all together, but he doesn't really have it all together. In Georgia, we would refer to Joe as having the porch light on, but nobody's home. Okay, let's talk about Lord willing and the creek don't rise. This is like something that you would say if you are invited somewhere and you're not really sure if you're going to be able to make it. You would say, well, Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Means that a lot of things are going to have to be able to work out for me to make it to that invitation. Lord willing and the creek don't rise. If you're super surprised by something that people would say here is, well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. Just means that I'm very surprised that that thing is the case. And so, wow, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. And then lastly, something that you might say if someone asks you how you're doing or how your day's going, but you're kind of not doing so well that day, you're on the struggle bus, you would say, hanging on like a hubcap in the fast lane. It kind of implies like, things are going rough, but well, I'm making it. Hope these interesting Georgia sayings help you out if you're thinking about moving to Atlanta and you want to know more about what it's like to live here. Be sure to click on this video. I'll see you there.